Hey everybody! This video is a little different than past tasting videos because we're not going to do a formal kind of going through all the descriptors about this fruit. Unfortunately, I just don't have that much to sample, but more importantly, I wanted to make this video not only to showcase this fruit, but also to thank Madison Citrus Nursery. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes with what we're planning for this spring and summer, and both Stan McKenzie and Madison Citrus Nursery have been a huge part of that. Stan providing some pretty unique and rare varieties in terms of budwood and some plants, and Madison Citrus Nursery handling the wholesale side, allowing us to have lots of rootstock and lots of budwood to graft out the rest of the plants where we just want more of them. And I'll give you a quick idea of what that looks like here. I have it just near us. So we have this rootstock plant, and I've been grafting them all. This one you can see is US-942 citrandarin. So they've been grafted, topped, and we have a nice little side veneer graft there of the US-942. But we have over 100 of these that we're doing, so that might give you just a little sneak peek idea of what we got going on here. So lots of rare and cold hardy citrus grafting going on behind the scenes here. Let me put that off to the side. And in front of us, Hershell from Madison Citrus Nursery. Thankfully, he was actually able to share this fruit, and he sent a bunch of other fruit without us even asking. So really awesome customer service. I got to talk with him on the phone a good bit, and it was really a pleasure. So he was very generous with the budwood, the trees. We even got some US-942 trees, and he does still have these on the Madison Citrus Nursery website. From what I know and from what he told me, they are rooted cuttings, and when I tell you these trees came in, they were almost, if not 6 feet tall. I mean, they were really squished into those boxes, not necessarily in a bad way, but he fit as much tree as he could into there. So these are thick caliper, almost the size of maybe my pinky finger, of these rooted cutting trees. So I'm confident they should actually be fruiting in the next year or two, which is really awesome. So super happy to get my hands on those and to get my hands on a fruit here. So for those of you who don't know, US-942 is another citrandarin variety. I'm forgetting off the top of my head which mandarin they hybridized. I forget if it was like a Sunki mandarin. I might be thinking of a different one, but it was that and the Flying Dragon trifoliate orange that led us to this little fruit here. So I saved it from some days ago. We did already taste this one. I'm going to take a little piece to remind myself again because I didn't take any notes either. And I did remove the seeds. But you can see here, we'll get nice and close there and focus that. Alright, that might be as good as we're getting there. But you can see here as a nice orange color, a little green at the top there. It's a relatively small fruit. I'd compare the size almost to like a large calamondin maybe. Or it's actually similar to a shakwasha, maybe a little bit bigger than some of them. But Madison also sent us some shakwasha fruit too that were a little bigger and riper than ones we've had in previous videos where they had the green peel on them. But from what I noticed with US-942, I mean, right off the bat you can kind of tell, which is something I didn't notice with 852, you can peel this one. I mean, look at that. The peel comes off really easy, and so far that hasn't been a common trait with these hybrids. I mean, with the trifoliate mixed in, it definitely makes it a lot harder to peel a lot of these, because you can't really peel trifoliate oranges. I mean, you certainly could try, and I've tried, but it's not really easy at all, and that was very easy, and you can see right underneath, it looks like a little, like a karaji or shakwasha, like a small mandarin inside. And I'll slice off a little bit to taste here again. Okay. So there we got kind of like that cross section there and that cross section. So you can see the membranes and everything are a bit looser in the fruit. I will say when I'm cutting it, you do get a little trifoliate smell in the rind, and that's still something that's hard to avoid. But again, keep in mind this is a 50-50 cross with trifoliate, so our expectations aren't even that high to begin with, and I was still surprised. Yeah, I will say it has some trifoliate smell, but not nearly as much as a trifoliate orange itself. So, not the worst smell at all. It is Mandarin trifoliate. Kind of similar to 852, but different. They do have a little different smell. Alright, so let's grab these pieces here, and let's see. Let me get a little bigger piece. It's definitely tarter than US-852. Yeah, what I can say about it is US-852 is milder and has a more peculiar taste than US-942. US-942 does still have a bit of sweetness. It is rather tart, and it doesn't necessarily have a hard taste to figure out. It kind of just tastes like an orange with some trifoliate orange aftertaste. So you don't completely avoid it. You know, it's not like a revolutionary new citrandarin that has no trifoliate at all, at least in my opinion. Some people might like this even more. From what I was told at Madison Citrus Nursery, they already ate most of these, so clearly this one's popular with more people. And I gotta say, it's not bad. Between being able to peel it and it being tartar, and I did have my wife try it, and she liked it pretty good too. She liked it better than 852, and I think that's because it doesn't have such a strange, like harder to figure out taste to it. It's more predictable maybe. But yeah, it's just like a nice sour, slightly sweet mandarin with trifoliate flavor. So it's a pretty cool one there. Yeah, very interesting fruit. But yeah, I've heard a lot about all these different citrandarins, and Tough Citrus is making some videos on these different citrandarins. It's really cool to see what's coming out and what's becoming available to us. I do think citrandarins as a whole have a lot of potential as a kind of trifoliate hybrid category. I think this is where efforts should be best focused, and I think stuff like this, if we repeat the cross with that Thomasville was, so the Citrange and Kumquat, if we repeated that with the citrandarin, I think we would get a very palatable Mandarin quat-esque fruit, which I think would be really tasty. We got to sample something like that too in our little fruit bag we got, and they were really good. So I think something like that has a lot of potential in this world of cold hardy citrus and trifoliate hybrids, and I do think utilizing ones like 942 especially might be particularly valuable. And I'll see if I can find it and put it in the description. I did find an interesting scientific article discussing the different flavonoids in these fruit and comparing them with other hybrids. And 942 actually had the lowest amount of poncerin, which is a flavonoid we associate with Poncerus trifoliata, trifoliate orange, and its hybrids, which give it that kind of bitter, piney taste, perhaps? There is something specific to trifoliate orange that I think you can only find in grapefruit, but otherwise is characteristic of trifoliate orange and its hybrids. So 942 is one of those that has less of it already, and from what I understand in trials, it's proven to be one of the more cold hardy rootstock. So we are, of course, planting and testing this here in North Carolina, and we're going to see how it can handle at least our mild winters. I don't think it's going to have any problem surviving, and I think its hybrids will certainly prove to be very hardy as well. But that's all I have to say for this video. We don't have any other notes or anything. I just wanted to do a quick little tasting and remind myself so I could tell you guys what I thought of this fruit too. It's a rare one that you're not going to see a lot of, and I will include at some point in this video, if I haven't already, a photo of it cut with the seeds in it so you can get a better look at it too. You can't really find many photos of this fruit fresh yet. So I hope that helps, and again, big shout out to Madison Citrus Nursery. They really hooked it up with the trees. the budwood, and the fruit as well. So I really just want to give them some recognition, give them some sales. If you're interested in these trees too, do not miss out. There's only maybe 20 something of those 942 trees left. They do have other cold hardy citrus, but this is a rare one that's hard to get your hands on. And at different points of the year, I saw they were doing smaller rooted cuttings and stuff as well. So hopefully some of you guys got those already, because those are sold out now. So it's just the big trees from here on out, but they're selling them for $24 each plus shipping. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just think they really deserve the business after the awesome interaction I had with them. So please head on over there, and I will see you guys in a future video. Bye-bye.